Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it started.
Be trying to fight each other.
Okay, guys. So, yeah, I'm a blogger boy now. Yeah, this is our tiny Brooklyn apartment on Sonder. It's a very popular place that has stuff on Airbnb, but they are their own chain. Sonder, like Brent Fayez, yeah. So this is it, man. This just the little sink, and you have a little mirror. Then you comes with a strange woman in it, and then you have a little bathroom, and then you come out, and then you wash your hands out here. You have a little mirror, and then you have your bed, and you have some pull-out stuff. And then you have TV that you Chromecast on or AirPlay, and it's very tiny. It's very chic. It's very Brooklyn. If you've been here, you can hang your towels. You have like a cool mirror with also a strange person, and you have like a little baby desk. Let me show you. This is just from the bed. It feels like the getaway house again. It's very tiny. I don't know how they did it during COVID, but you do have a pretty cool window of Brooklyn, and you can see outside and stuff. And that's about it. Comment, subscribe. We are back. I miss you so much. I miss you so much. We are back. I miss you so much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to This Is Recorded. New York City, I love you. Brooklyn, I love you. Brooklyn, I love you. YouTube, get on the YouTube. Watch what we talking about. I want to put some clips in here, man. Oh, man, I had a beautiful trip last week. I stressed myself too thin. I was in New York all week. Back home, Brooklyn, my birthplace, man. And then I came back on Saturday, and then I had to go to a birthday event. Shout out to Mo. Happy birthday to you that's passed now. New York, I was there. Was in Brooklyn, man. I was in Park Slope. Went to a Brooklyn Nets game. Did a couple things, man. I was so happy to be back, man. Let me spit it for you. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every dressing day, break Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had a redback lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Dukes, the hard. Y'all know what it is, man. The birthplace of Biggie, man. I was home. I was born in Brookdale Hospital, New York City. My mom knew it was kind of messed up raising two boys at the time. We lived in Harlem before we left 143rd between Malcolm X and Lenox. She said, we got to get out of there. I went to Virginia. I lived in New Jersey. Went to high school in California. Now I'm here in the beautiful A-Town. Stay down. Atlanta, I love you. But New York City, it's nothing like it. Being home, man. If you haven't been, I wish you can go. I wish you could feel it. It's nothing more amazing, too, for my wife or something. We really wanted to see the tree. It was mid at Rockefeller Center, but we just wanted to see and vibe out to New York in the wintertime, man. But it was just beautiful to be in New York, man. It gives me a motivation, it gives me a drive. You see people hustling, you see people grinding. I realized that I don't like being closed in. When I get to New York, I got to get my money right. I got to be all the way right so I could get, a nice sized place. Because where we was at, man, it was tiny. I showed y'all in the video, man. I showed y'all what it was. YouTube. Got to do more with the YouTube, man. But New York City, man, let me give you the quick rundown. We came there. The first night we went to a spot called Last Lap. I've been hearing about. Beautiful vibe, R&B music. We had some jerk shrimp, rice, plantains. So we did that. Just rode through New York at night. Beautiful. We was right across, Lower East Side where my mom is from. Shout out to my Aunt Roz and everybody, man. Shout out to my whole New York family. It was a quick trip. I was in and out. We was in the Lower East Side Last Lap. We woke up the next day. What we did? We went to just walking around, shopping. What we did? We went to an ice cream museum and had all kind of stuff. And then Went to see Harry Potter play. You know I'm a Harry Potter nerd. Maybe I'll put the bill or whatever in the end. It was amazing. Seen a play on Broadway. Just walking around, doing some shopping, moving around. Ate at Nas restaurant. Shout out Sweet Chick. Beautiful place, man. Had some good food. Eating real good food everywhere. We went to a place called Say Less or See Less, SEI. Less, you know, we went there. What else we did? We went to a Brooklyn Nets game against the Atlanta Hawks. How crazy is that? Got to see the boy Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Got my first time in the Barclays Center. Was walking distance from our spot. It was beautiful. You know, I had a big coat on. We went Brooklyn Bridge Park, and they got a spot that's kind of like a little chill spot and eatery and kind of like a small mall or whatever, like a Ponce City Market if you're in Atlanta. You know, we just had a really good time, man. We was riding the subway. And you know what's crazy? My nerves was all crazy because it was like, damn, bro. I hear so much about New York right now, like people with mental health and they pushing people off the tracks and, you know, flying, you get weirded out. But it was like, man, I felt so comfortable and so good being home and riding the subways and, you know, just feeling that. We had somebody come on the train. He had a party on the train. Nobody was paying attention to him, but he was vibing by himself, man. You got to love it, man. New York City, thank you for having me. I love you. I hope to be back soon. I want to take my nieces and nephews there, man. And also, we in the holiday season, man. It's a time of giving. It's a time of, like, when I was younger, I never understood how parents could just drop a kid off and just let them play or whatever, and they just sit there while I'm having all this fun and never could really understand, like, yo, I'm getting all these gifts. Why aren't you getting gifts, you know, for Christmas? But really, like tonight, man, I'm doing this, 12:33 Sunday morning. I'm doing this podcast because I really wanted to get this out to y'all. I've just been ripping and running and moving. I seen Maxwell and Jasmine Sullivan last night, man. I'm really living this life, man. Like, rest in peace to Twitch, the dancer that worked with Ellen, and he did other things I've heard. It's a lot of depression. It's a lot of hard times. It's a lot of things. So, like, I'm doing as much living as possible, as you should. You know, you should, you know, find help, get help. You can't stay in that funk. You can't become your funk. You can't become a depressive person. You have to fight for it, whether that's therapy, whether that's talking to people, working out, finding a new hobby, listen to this recorded podcast, make your own podcast, doing whatever it is you love to do. You have to do that. You got to fight for it because, you know, when people commit suicide, different things, they lose the battle because they didn't find it no more. It became hopeless and it was no point. And, you know, I say this all the time, like, when we get on ourselves about we not where we want to be or we didn't make it, like, how do we know until our life is over? But when you commit suicide, your life is over. So, you know, I'm praying for everybody. And if you listen to this right now, man, hit me in the DM. Call somebody you love. Call a hotline, anything, man. Just fight for yourself. I mean, I believe, like, that's been so many times in my life where I'm like, damn, like, this is just it or things ain't going to get no better. And I'll be damned. We got a situation tonight. Took my nephew's OTE. If it's on Amazon Prime, it's a basketball league. If y'all check tonight's game, Saturday night game from OTE, you might see your boy. I had on this fit. I was with my nephews, man, sitting courtside, you know. I wanted to take them as something that's young basketball players that get paid money now. That's, I think, like 16 through 21 or something. And they preparing them for the league and they kind of learn business management, different things. It's a new thing, only been around for 2 years. No, Amazon, I think Drake and a couple different partners are a part of it. And it just was a really cool vibe, man. We went there to have regular seats and a guy was like, hey, do y'all want to sit courtside, man? It's just like, just doing things sometimes you never know where you be blessed, you know. I think about that all the time where, like, you know, I listen to Brilliant Idiots and Andrew Schultz podcast. It's this guy named Alex. He think he was a police officer and, you know, he got in trouble filming stuff with Andrew and he was locked up abroad and he ended up losing his job. But now he has, you know, a podcast studio in New York and LA, and he works on one of the hottest podcasts, Flagrant 2, with Andrew Schultz. And, you know, he works on all these things, and none of these things could have been possible without him, you know, taking his chance with Andrew, taking his chance. You know, it's a lot of talk about people only taking a certain amount of money, doing a certain job, but
sometimes no money has to be attached. If he gives you opportunity, it could be great, because that's what it is with him. With Alex, he got fired and he was in jail. I mean, it was dark. It was real dark. He was in jail in another country, and then his podcast that he was working with ended up blowing up, and now he's deep in the podcast production game. Got WTF Studios if you're in New York or LA. And he's doing his thing, but it's just like so many opportunities. Charlamagne talks all the time about him being fired so many times. And it's just like, when you're in them dark places, in them dark holes, if you take your life, they would have never seen these things manifest to what they are now and the life they live now. But it's a blessing, man. And that's how I know for myself, like, things get better, because it already has for me. I'm living this life, and I just find happiness. The more and more I hear about, the sad stuff and the bad stuff, the more and more I just go hard with living and just being appreciative of my life, and really appreciative of the people around me. Not so much the things I do. I do a lot of things, but the people around me, my wife first and foremost, number one, man. My best friend, like, and literally when you go through life and you go through things, you don't really want to argue. You don't really want to, like, you really know a person when you go through something with them. You really know a person if they could tell you when you're wrong and you believe them. Or maybe you mad at the time and then you realize later on, like, damn, they was right. It's nothing like having a tribe and good people, because these things, material things, they come and go. But people are there, that conversation. I always talk about, like, I want to put centers and help people, to like have somebody to talk to, because it's beautiful, the backpack giveaways and the holiday giveaways, and somebody puts a park or a basketball court in their hood or where they from, but it's like people need somebody to talk to, like when they getting abused, when things are not going right, where they don't know which way they're gonna go in life, where they think about robbing something. They need these things, and that's what I want to create, and that's what I'm gonna create eventually. I'm gonna make these different things to really bring people hope and things like that. I want to give you resources, but also they all talk about learning how to fish. Like, if somebody just give you fish when you're hungry, that's temporary. But if somebody teaches you how to fish, you can eat forever. And that's what I want to do, man. I just want to be happy. I want to live life, man. And I just love this podcast game. I really do, man. I'll do it by myself. I'll do it in a chair. I'll do it over there. I'll do it over here. Shout out Dr. Seuss. I just really love this, man. I see different podcasts. Shout out to Pillow Talk. My cousin Ronald, I love the editing he got going on in there, and I love the black love that he's displaying with his wife on there. So check that out, Pillow Talk podcast. They on YouTube right now. I don't know if they're on other platforms, but everybody that's just doing their thing, and everybody's trying to. Podcast is definitely rap. Like, everybody has one, and people are like, I don't really want to do that. It's trash, or it's hard to get views, man. I'll get like 12 views in a week. That's nothing, something like 20 views, this, that, but I really love doing it. It brings me joy. I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, and missing it last week was rough, but I was moving around so much and my body was just exhausted. But I put out a little something, because like this whole entire year, as we wrapping it up, I put out something every single week, something for the people. Audio, visual, something. I put it out. It makes me feel so glad. It makes me feel so happy. It was a struggle. I had to learn that sometimes it's better to do it by yourself, because I know I'm down to do it all the time, but some people don't love the podcasting game, or you don't want to get different guests, and a lot of people flake on you. Boy, oh boy. People flake on you, and it's like, hey, we'd love to have you on. It'll be good. They set it up, and then nothing, but you can't get mad at it in life, man. I'm just like really in a path and a vibe right now where I don't really get mad at much, man. I'm just living life. I'm thankful, and I really live by it. What's for me is already mine, and what's not for me will pass me. I'm living in that, and I'm just, man, I'm overjoyed and thankful, man. This year has been rough at times, but it has been the best mentally, because I can identify when something is going wrong in my life or I'm having issues, and I work at it, or I ride the wave. I know that the wave is going to pass eventually. If I have 365 days in a year and 11 of them is not that great, that's not bad odds. I think that's still an A, possibly. I'm not the greatest at math. I'm thankful for all the ups and downs. And when you get past it, like I said, with the Charlemagnes and the different people, man, Brittany Griner, she's home. Shout out to her. Like, I mean, I'm sure 9 years. She didn't do one. She did like 8, 9 months. She was sentenced to 9 years. Could have got really, really dark, but now she's home. Everything is great. And I guess that's my focus for this podcast. It's like, just because your life is going weird right now, or just because your life is not in the place you want it to be, don't give up. Fight that fight, man. It gets better. Work hard. Work at it. Don't be so hard on yourself. A lot of people, maybe parents, somebody been hard on you. Don't be so hard on yourself. You got to be, sometimes you need to be a tougher critic, but also you got to be gentle with yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to know yourself. You got to just, know that life gets better eventually. You have to really believe that, because when you give up hope, you become hopeless. And, I really just believe in doing things, whether it's going to a park, taking a long walk somewhere. The OTE thing is like $17. It was $51 for 3 people. Snacks wasn't too bad. We got to move up. Beautiful view everywhere. If you're in Atlanta, try OTE basketball, Overtime Elite. Try everything out, man. Fight for yourself. Fight for your mental health. Fight for your mental health. Black people, black men. I know a lot of black men have issues with, black men don't make as much no more, and a lot of women are getting better jobs. That's a beautiful thing. Black women didn't have as much for a long time. They moving ahead. And for me growing up, I've seen black women making good money and different things, but it wasn't always like that. It was so dependent on the man. And a lot of men, even myself, would love to be old school where, hey, I make all the money and that is what it is, but that's not my reality. The reality is we work together as a team and we make it happen. Eventually one day that could change, move different businesses, different things. But the main thing is to be happy. And I am extremely happy. I'm overjoyed. I'm having a good time. But I remember them days when I wasn't having a good time, when I was having a rough time in life. So for you, please, please, please get help. Reach me, reach somebody you trust, reach out. I know a lot of different insurances. I took therapy. It was like $20 a session, something like that. Or maybe some places they offer for free. It's different things. I'm sure if you Google it, man, a counselor, if you're in school, whatever, man. Shout out to all the kids that are on break, man. Finish the year strong when you get back in January for college or high school, whatever level school, man. Do it. Because I watched the sex lives of college students on HBO Max, and it just really seems like college, like I didn't have that type of college experience. Also be appreciative for people guiding you in the right direction, because for me, out of high school, I didn't really know where I was going, what I wanted to do. All I know, I wanted to be back on the East Coast. I was living in California. That was my main thing. I figured I'll figure out the rest later. But from, college, like really going off to college, being in the dorm, it seems so amazing. It's your taste of, young adulthood and living on your own and living by your own rules. Don't fuck that up and end up back home, because I'm telling you, ain't nobody really doing shit at home. If you're going for a trade out of school, if college is not your thing, if you're going right into production or this or that, and you got something rolling already, or you really working on it, it's a real goal, you're not bullshitting yourself or your family, go ahead and do that. But if not, man, college just seems so fun to just go to different parties and just get the grades, and y'all kicking at each other's house, y'all play the game, you meet girls, you meet dudes, y'all have a good time, man. It's just like, why would you not want that? Because at home, I'm telling you, like, it's a lot of dudes sitting around not doing shit and thinking they're an adult. It's not cool. I know you can get fatigued from being in school. You did it from K through 12, like off and on. You get good grades, you don't get good grades, but stay focused, man, and just really, man, experience life and make life easier for yourself. And the easiest way right now, if you don't have it figured out, is go to college. Your first year or two, you could possibly change your majors, talk to different people, and the connections in the network, because this life definitely is who you know. So the networking you could do, the things you can make happen is great. Atlanta's a beautiful place. I got to definitely go out there and network more, but going to these OT things and seeing it is definitely going to be a spot where I can network with my photography or maybe do some podcast stuff, whatever. It would be beautiful, man. So really, for my young people out there, figure it out, Start putting them applications, go on them tours. Going to take my nephew on some tours. Really, but you don't want to end up just at home. A lot of people don't love the rules at home and don't love what goes on at home. That might be you. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy this life, because you'll look up, you've been working a job for like 10 years or something and you don't really have nothing to show for it. At least if you hate your job and you're making good money because you got a degree, you're all right. It's some people that work, where I work, is just like all they needed was a degree. Some places only want you to have a bachelor's, and it's crazy, but you could not be your field at all. But, man, stay focused. Go into the new year strong. We have a new year upon us. Go into it strong. Start doing it now. Don't wait till January 1st. Start doing it now. Whatever you're doing, man, map out that plan. This year has been amazing turnaround for me as far as podcasts and really dedicating myself to it. I was focused going into this year, and I made some good strides. It takes 10 years to become that overnight celebrity. I've been doing this for quite a while now. I think since October 18. So I'm going to keep going. I love what I'm doing. I love this podcast game. I love you all for watching, man. As I end, man, I just really want y'all to be thankful for your life. And don't be stuck where you are right now. It's a new year. It's the holidays. The holidays can be tough. A lot of people are losing people. Rest in peace to all the people we lost. Get better for all the people that's feeling down, feeling sick, whether it's mentally or physically. And what am I going to speak into existence? I speak into existence that you find your happiness this week, that you come out of that dark hole, that dark pit, that dark time in your life, whatever you're going through. I speak into existence that this week you reach your breakthrough. I thank you for listening. New York City, I love you to the fullest. Should I rap another bar for y'all? Which one I got? Good dude. I know you love me like cook food, even though a nigga gotta move like a crook move. We was on our brother to the boxing free lunch. We should have been together having 4 seasons brunch. We should carry umbrellas to chase the bad weather. Now we travel first class to get the forecast, never in bunches. Just me and you. I love your point of view because you held no hunches. It been months since you checked on in. All right, man, I messed it up, man. Hove, man. When this camera comes on, it really messes you up, man. Let's get some energy. Let's get some life. This week, get it right. Get that shopping done. Don't fight nobody. Don't road rage nobody. Get some good food. Drink some eggnog if your stomach can handle it. But enjoy yourself, whatever it is, man. This week, man. Love your family. Hug your loved ones. Look people in the eyes. Tell them you love them. And just enjoy yourself, man. And I speak that into existence. You get that breakthrough this week. And this is recorded.
Damn, son. I feel like everybody in the club getting tipped to a special treat.
Recording live from the top of the world. Brooklyn, New York. This is recorded. Riding the train with my honey. New York. 1 o'clock in the morning, reporting live. This is recorded. Brooklyn, New York. I love you, New York. We'll be back soon. Thank you for everything. God bless. This is recorded.
Trey, the future.